Now, one should never, ever be surprised at a extremist or a fanatic's ability to want to combat something, a perceived threat, a perceived injustice in some way, to the point in which they make a complete ass out of themselves. It's true. And unfortunately, that's kind of universal all around. I mean, it's good to be passionate about things. It's good to even sometimes get extremely invested in something if it is like a legit injustice. But when it's not, it tends to be very, very funny. So we've got this clip from Fox News. Mom dresses as a cat to combat woke schools. Okay.
These officials put kids' lives in danger to protect what exactly? We don't know.
Wait, kids' lives are in danger for... Wait, what? Woke ideas put kids in danger. I'm pretty sure schools put kids in danger. Just in general. It's, they get shot up a lot, unfortunately.
Any kid in those schools could tell you that men and women are not the same. Just like they could tell you this cat lady isn't a cat.
I am a cat. Meow, meow.
Now, for a while, before we get into this, because I unfortunately am drinking coffee and not booze, I do want to point out that school board meetings, this kind of shit, these public meetings, have been at the forefront of pests. I'm just gonna call them pests. Conservative, right-leaning, usually, grassroots mom, groups on Facebook and shit like that, just being absolute fucking pests. Absolute pests at school board meetings and just fucking things up. I don't know if this is a new low or if it's just more of the same. You'll have to help me judge.
I'm not a woman dressed as a cat. I am a cat. By show of hands, I'm curious, how many of you believe and confess that I'm a cat? Great. By show of hands, I'm curious how many...
I mean, it's not like you have any conviction when you say it. Like, there's not even really a performance here. You're reading from a script. I mean, at least, like, try, like, put a little bit of effort into it.
How many of you believe that your child or a child from this school would believe that I'm actually a cat? No one.
Okay.
You are right. Truth prevails over imagination. Reality exists. Discernment is innate and something we are biologically wired to have. One look at me and you know this to be true. I am a woman posing as a cat.
Well, listen. I wouldn't call you a woman. I'd call you a bitch. I'm just saying, because your point is terrible. It's this really funny thing of like, okay, there's how people are and how people portray. She can say, well, I am first and foremost, because reality is real, I am a woman. But if you have any compassion for, the people that she's targeting and trying to be a shithead about, you're probably not going to be like, you look at this person and you're like, first and foremost, you are a woman. Biological reality. Blah, blah, blah. No, you're going to think, wow, what a bitch. I mean, it's fascinating to me.
Lindsey Graham, the cat lady herself and host of the Patriot Barbie podcast.
Okay. Also, if you're going to call yourself a Barbie, I really don't want to shame people's looks. I really don't. Not my style. Not into it, okay? Not into it.
Joins me now. So, Lindsey, what was actually happening at this school district that made you have to dress up as a cat to prove your point?
Well, first of all, Jesse, I'd like you to not misspecies me. I'd like to be addressed as a cat for the...
That's very funny. The one joke. Yeah. The one joke. It's so fascinating to me that the very tiny minority of people in the country that are trans are somehow such a fucking threat, so offensive to these people, that the most popular it's not news channel has to constantly and overwhelmingly signal boost people fucking with them instead of just leaving them alone. It's so fucking weird. It really does speak to an incredible amount of weakness.
The entirety of this video, of course.
Of course.
So
I apologize.
This was in my. Thank you. Just inclusivity is all I ask, you know. This was a local school in my neighborhood where there was a member of the school board whose name is Paul Bixler. He is a man. He's very clearly a man. And the only thing he does to identify as a female is put lipstick on. He grew his hair out a little bit, and he wears his deceased wife's clothing to school.
So what? What does that have to do with you? Why? What does any of that have to do with you? Why are you broadcasting this person's grief over their dead fucking wife and then also talking about their business because you're triggered by what they're wearing? Okay. Wow. You're a bitch.
2 sporting events, 2 fundraisers, 2 school events in front of the children. And believe it or not, he actually demands on being identified one of 2 ways, either Paul, which is a man's name, of course, or Miss Bixler. So
what? You don't have to call her that. If I'm like tripping up on the language right now, just keep in mind the only thing I know about this person is from this bitch. Okay, it's simple as that. So, but you don't have to call her anything. It has nothing to do with you. Like, I wonder if she even has a kid. Not even a kid in this school, but a kid in general.
It's very clear that he has a gender identity crisis. And not only does he appear in front of the children and insist that the children define him as a woman,
so what?
But he sits on the board and he's making decisions for these children. And the point that I was trying...
Does wearing clothes that make you uncomfortable mean that you are unable to make good decisions? It's very strange to me. And the other thing, too, is like, if kids are smart enough to know this, that, or the other thing, well, sure, fine. Maybe the kids can clock this teacher, but they're also learning how to just be respectful, which apparently none of these fuckers ever did. It's just so crazy, dude.
To make as a cat was that, I mean, obviously, you can't just identify as whatever you want, and you can't demand that other people identify you as whatever you want.
Yes, you can. Just ask politely. And in a civilized society, we all do our best. Yes, you can. You absolutely can.
But someone with this kind of mental illness can enjoy that mental illness all they want in the comfort of their own home. But when you put them in charge of children, we're talking about a new type of indoctrination. And that's what's really...
How is that indoctrination? I am so confused. You know, kids watch, like, Sesame Street, right? Like, are we teaching kids that birds can be that big? That there are monsters living in the trash? You know, like, what in the fuck, dude? What in the actual fuck? Indoctrination. Indoctrination into what? Into what? This is the Simpsons think of the children clip. I agree. That's so fucking crazy.
Terrifying is seeing these people in charge of our kids' education.
Yeah, if he has to grieve over his dead wife, he can grieve privately, but wearing his deceased wife's dress and putting on lipstick and growing your hair out and insisting you're a woman in front of, what grade is this precisely?
This is insane, like the absolute cruelty of this. But then this is why they do this. They do this to be cruel. There's no other fucking reason for this. It is just to be cruel. That's the whole point. That's all the right has right now as far as politics is cruelty. It's so fucking gross.
This is elementary school, so these are young, vulnerable minds. And the teachers, the rest of the school board are identifying him as mixed while he's talking in just the deepest manly voice that he was born with.
It's none of your business. Do you have a kid in that school? If not, shut the fuck up.
And so to see these parents and these adults take no responsibility for the education of these kids and to teach them true right and wrong and true biology and true facts and science and truths.
There's nothing to say that can't still be taught. This is so fucking dumb.
is just so alarming that we have this in the school system.
Real quick, when you did this at this hearing, did people understand? How did they react?
This is a great story, actually. The next day at the gym, I saw one of the members of the school board, and he looked at me a little odd. I said, "I'm sure you don't want to remember who I am." And he said, "The cat." And I thought he would proceed to chew me out. And he said, "You know what? Thank you so much for getting up there and saying what you said."
Yeah, I'm sure that really fucking happened. And if it did, well, then fuck that person too. Because honestly, like, again, this is just being fucking cruel for no reason. For absolutely no reason. Pearl clutching, think of the children style bullshit. It's so fucked up.
Thank you for being bold enough to speak truth. I've been fighting this agenda. I've been fighting this teacher and
this
this
is so
school board
bullshit.
member. There are people on our side, and all it takes is just a few of us to stand up and speak truth and find those partners in crime, if you will, and then we really can unite together and fight.
Yeah, this hollow-headed, stupid fucking bitch is making this fucking story up. She remembered verbatim this whole long spiel that somebody at the gym, by the way, I go to the gym, told her, and that, like, "Oh, you were the cat. Listen, I've been trying to stand up to the wokeness in the mob and the blah, blah, blah." Bullshit. Bullshit. I call bullshit. You lying-ass liar. You fugly-ass skank. Anyway, sorry. Ooh, man. Nah, I'm really pissed.
Back against this and save our children.
What kind of exercises does a cat do at the gym?
Oh, gosh, there's got to be something zingy I can say here. Lots of squats, litter box press, kitty nip presses,
All right, meow, meow. Thank you
Yeah, she's dumb as fuck. Wow. Jesus. Jesse Waters is a piece of shit.
very much, Lindsey
Meow, meow,
Graham,
indeed.
not the senator.
Hey, Sean Hannity here.
Anyway, yeah, again, it's cruelty. It's so fucked up. We stand trans rights. These fuckers are just, the thing is, they are upset because they see that the world is progressing in a way that makes them uncomfortable, and they can't make it stop. They can't. They can't like battle it in any kind of reasonable or equitable area. There's no way, because popularity is what kind of defines and rules culture. And that's one of the reasons why people like this respond with cruelty, why people want to push accelerationism, why they want to end up utilizing things like violence or very specific minority approved, not minority races, but minority as far as voters approved legislation that strips people of rights. That's why they want to do this, is because the world is leaving them behind and they feel that's like violent, and so they respond with violence and hate and cruelty. And it's just ugly, evil souls, terrible, terrible human beings. Fuck these people.